we're going to go ahead and look at. This is apparently Ubisoft. Ubisoft has fucked up with this so bad that the Japanese Prime Minister is talking about it. It's being discussed in their parliament. Oh my god.
Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba is not happy about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let's watch this.
この今言ういわゆる朝栗問題ということについてお伺いしたいんですが。
Did you hear that? He said asakuri issue, meaning we Japanese keep on talking about this all the time.
Yeah.
So asakuri issue, he didn't explain about asakuri issue, right? Because everyone knows.
Oh, so he's basically what he's saying is that it's so well known he doesn't even need to explain it. Yeah, okay.
3月20日にですね、発売予定のフランスの UBISOFT の株式会社制作の
Okay, well, this also kills my theory that it was actually them discussing live streaming because he's discussing Assassin's Creed explicitly, right? So it actually wasn't about live streaming. This is actually about Assassin's Creed. That's what this is about.
ついてなんですけど、海外で
Overseas, though, early gameplay videos already popped up on YouTube. I watched them, and here's what I saw.
That video that went to really viral. And I was surprised that there's a lot of people.
Oh shit. Little F? Yeah, we had a little bit of a hiccup there. Here, let's watch it again. Sorry about that, guys. We'll get back to it.
Video that went to really viral.
Here it is. Oh,
and I
man.
was surprised that...
Bro, he just tore that shit up.
That
One more
went
time.
to really viral. And
Bro,
I was
he went in on
surprised
that shit.
There's a lot of people who think
There it
that's
is.
okay. I think most of people doesn't know that's that shrine and altar. I guess, but a lot of Japanese people feel offended about that video.
Yeah, sure.
シュラインと実名で私の兵庫県の姫路市の入間の国奏者板手氷津神社が登場します。ゲームの中でですね。
The main character is samurai swings a sword inside the prayer hall, smashing drums, altars, and sacred objects. He shatters them and slashes at the villagers in the shrine, and what it looks like priests cutting them down, even shooting arrows. It's set up so you can commit these violent acts.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can just disable it, but they made it object that breakable.
私はこの話を聞いてですね、ちょっと地元の神社がありますので、直接宮司さんにお話を伺いました。
The chief priest, the game company never reached out, not once, to the shrine about using its name or getting permission. Nothing at all. That's what he said. On top of that, places like Nara's, Tojai, and other shrines, ancient burial mounds. Oh, I forgot. This is another very important component that you get to wear. Isn't one of the pre-order bonuses of Assassin's Creed Shadows that you get the ancient family emperor's armor with the emperor's seal on it? Robbing Imperial... Let me see. I just want to show you guys this here. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, it's been revealed that players will be looting the tomb of an ancestor of the emperor, sparking controversy in Japan. So the Desiro Kofan is the tomb of Emperor Nintoko, an ancestor of the current imperial family. So Yasuke can steal armors... Yeah, there it is. Can steal armor from the imperial family's tomb.
Whoa, you're reading that right. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, it's been revealed through the art book leaks that you will be getting trophies for looting the Emperor's tomb. That's right. Ancestors of the current imperial family are up for grabs. You can steal the sacred armor of one of the most earliest Japanese emperors in history as Yasuke, a foreigner. Now, I get it. The West doesn't have respect for their culture, so it's perfectly fine to slap George Washington in a Challenger and have him tear ass in the field somewhere. But in Japan, they have a reverence for their culture, and in fact, they're known the world over for this. So if Ubisoft is in fact creating a very accurate game and a game that respects the Japanese culture instead of lecturing to it, what the hell is this?
Well, I don't know what it is, but yeah, so that's what's being referred to right here.
映像とか肖像がですね、
Their images and likeness were used
使
without
用されてお
permission.
ります。
That's
本日
happening
はですね
too.
大口正樹
I'm Masagi
経産
Uzoshi,
副大臣にお越
Vice
しいた
Manager
だ
of
い
the
ておりますが、
economy joining us.
国内外問わず
Globally,
ゲ
the
ームを
number of
楽しむ
people
ユーザー
enjoying
という
these
のは
games
年々
is
増
keeps
加しており
growing
ます
every
が、
year.
ゲーム等に
But
お
when
け
it
る
comes to
固
games
有
using
施設
footage
の
of
映
specific
像などをで
places
すね、無許
without
可で
permission,
使用す
I'd
る
love
こ
to
とに
hear
つ
your
いて
thoughts.
ご見解をお伺
What
い
do
し
you
たいと
think?
思います。
経済産業省大
So
口
this
副
is
大
the
臣。
Prime Minister.
This is just kind of insider note. I know some people that send me this video.
Yeah.
So they didn't use word of Yasuke. Can't talk about it that detail, but something really scared concerns me. It's that there's an unspoken rule. You cannot cause other trouble to other ministries. I heard they can't use word of Yasuke in here. If we were Japanese, I think this is one of the biggest concern. And they decided to not to mention about Yasuke.
Okay.
That's what they told me. But my concern is that which ministry get trouble if they use word of Yasuke in here? As a Japanese, that's one of the biggest concern. What's going on, really?
I mean, like, I can definitely understand it, and it's kind of like, oh, Jesus, let me think of a way to explain what this is kind of like. It's like you are a soldier in World War II, and, or like somewhere around in that era, and you're not even from America, but somehow you get sent over to fight in World War II, and there's like a subplot line where you can fuck Eleanor Roosevelt. Really? And that would be pretty fucking weird, wouldn't it? That would be pretty odd. Yeah, that's a lot. Games Outwent, yes.
いたします。
It's just a game.
一般的なゲーム性
It is just a game. The thing is that I know it's just a game, but it to me it's funny. Like like I'm not Japanese, and I think the reason why a lot of people are talking about this is that the premise of the game is set basically like the game came out and it was released and it was expressed to the public as if it's like, oh, well, it was done almost in like a patronizing way. I think that a lot of people felt where this game gets made, it gets put out there. It has this storyline that's obviously exaggerated to like, you know, like a power of fucking 50, right? And then they're trying to like virtue signal basically with having this stuff in the game, and people find it annoying, right? And so if the story from the very beginning was about a fake character, and like, for example, I've been playing, as I said before, I've been playing Rise of the Rohirrim. This is a very good game. I really enjoy this game a lot. And they have a historical character, Matthew Perry, in the game. And so Matthew Perry is I think he's from America. I don't remember exactly. And he's from this game, and he is a honorable, reasonable, good guy. And he's not like a stupid, like moron. Like I feel like he's respectful in the game, right? And so, because it's like the idea of like colonial Japan, and there's like a bunch of other stuff. So the problem isn't that you're using historical characters. The problem is that you're using historical characters and then making an argument to authority of their authenticity. That's, I think, what really annoyed a lot of people. Does that make sense? That's what annoyed a lot of people. Is like you're making this argument to authority, like, oh, well, we understand this. We brought in cultural experts and we're telling you this. That's it. And so it's a Team Ninja game, though, right? Yeah, exactly. And it's disrespectful actions. Yeah, exactly. It's degrading the native characters. Exactly. And so, yeah, to be fair, and I'm not defending Assassin's Creed, the third game makes Washington a villain in the DLC, and no one said it was disrespectful to the birth of the U.S. So the reason why it's not a problem for them to do that, and you also fight the Pope, and it's also not a problem, is because they never presented the game as any form of historical context in a way that, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but as soon as Yasuke was announced as a character, everybody was like, what the fuck? There's not even certainty that this guy was a samurai. That's not even what's going to happen. It's also their own culture. And that's another thing too. And so, and this goes into like what I was saying is that in like Western American culture, it's much more okay to make fun of Christianity than like, I'd say Judaism, Islam, or Hinduism, right? And it's not as okay to make fun of those because that's not our culture, right? So like it's very different when you have a culture that's satirizing itself versus a culture that's satirizing and seemingly appropriating another culture. Do you see kind of like how the difference there is? And it's the same thing as like, you know, it's like the implicit thing that you can make racist jokes about your own race. I think this is very, very established, right? I do it all the time about making jokes about white people. Somebody else does that and they're a different skin color. People are going to get mad about it, right? And so, yeah, that's it. And that's it's travesty. Yeah, exactly. And so that's I think the reason. I think it's the argument to authority that people had. The main reason Japanese are boycotting this game is the foreigner killing Japanese is culturally insulting to them. Really? I thought they just didn't like the combat. No, I don't know. It's not our place to tell another culture what should and shouldn't be offensive. Well, you can do whatever you want. Like, you have the right to make something that's offensive to Japanese people, but you don't have the right to do that and then make the argument to authority that you're doing it and it's historically respectful. You can be disrespectful, but don't go and act like you're not doing that. That's the difference.
政策におきまして現存する固有名詞等を商用利用する際にはその知的財産を有する個人や団体等に許可を得る必要があるものと認識をしております。知的財産を無許諾で利用されているケースにおきましては個別の事情によるものであるため当事者間で協議されるものと承知をしております。その上で神社側等から相談がございましたら関係省庁と連携しつつ適切に対応してまいりたいというふうに思います。
It's payback for Pearl Harbor. They're French. They weren't even there. No, they're French. That's not even it. Like, what do you mean?
加田博之君。
ありがとうございます。今の答弁ありましたようにですね、やっぱり無許可で使用するということは本当にいけないことだと思いますし、本当にこのことについては私もしっかりと注視していきたいと思っています。それでですね、それに伴いまして昨今、コロナ禍の影響もすれまして、観光客が
Oh boy. Bro, they about to make Japan a private server. Straight up. Yeah. I don't blame them. Honestly, I don't either. I think it's disgraceful. It's absolutely it's disgraceful the way that people act over there. It really is. It's same with Korea, right? Over tourism is causing all sorts of problems. For instance, people climbing on the shrine torii gates. Oh wait, that's what I did in Assassin's Creed yesterday. Or scribbling graffiti on shrine pillars. Wait, they've got tourists that are climbing on torii gates and scribbling graffiti? What the fuck? Tourist misbehavior is turning into a real tourism headache. Yeah.
That's also something I've been talking about on my channel.
Yeah.
A lot of foreigners who do that. I gotta be honest. Just because they think Japanese won't fight back.
That's exactly why they do it, by the way. That's why they don't do it in China. They don't do this in China. They do it in Japan. They don't do this in North Korea. They do it in South Korea. They don't do this in, I don't know, some random village in Africa or some like more developing country in Africa. They're doing it up in Europe, in Sweden or something like that. Yeah, they're not doing this in Dubai. They're not doing this in... I never see them go over to Saudi Arabia and do this. Doesn't happen. Graffiti on concrete is one thing, but torii gates... I actually think the graffiti is worse. Because it's like, after somebody's off a torii gate, they're off of it, right? And like, unless they're really fat, it's not going to affect the thing. But like if you've got graffiti on it, I mean, that's like a permanent print on it. And like, I don't know, like it's both disrespectful. And as a tourist going to a country, this is outrageous that people would act this way. It's completely disgraceful. It's embarrassing.
Won't say anything, or they're taking advantage of Japanese politeness or kindness.
Yeah, exactly. That's
or
exactly
even
what he's
shyness.
doing. Yes.
And it's very natural that as a Japanese, if we see that game, we feel like, oh, they can do that because they think Japanese won't say no.
Exactly.
私は
That is 100% what's happening.
ゲーム機の中で
In this game, NPCs, non-player
ノンプレイヤ
characters,
ーキャラクター
and these real places are used without permission.
対してとか
You
です
can
ね
attack them
承
or
諾され
destroy
た
them.
承
What
諾な
if
く使用され
that kind
た
of
施設
behavior
の
in
映
the
像の
game
中で攻
spills
撃や
over
破
into
壊
the
す
real
る行為
world?
が現実世界
Could
で
it
模倣され
inspire
る
copycat
迷惑行為
nuisance
につながる
acts?
んではないかと懸念しております。先
So
ほど
like
の
half of this is stupid, but the reality of it is true. Is that it's not Assassin's Creed that's causing people to go over to Japan and treat it like a PvP server, even though it's a PvE server. No, that's not what's happening. It's not Assassin's Creed that's doing that. It's live streamers that are doing it. And I guarantee you that as soon as they saw one person going over to Japan and getting clout and getting their clips posted around for being crazy in Japan, a bunch of other people went over there to do the exact same thing. So like it's not a pipeline of like video games translate to real life behavior. It's real life behavior translates to more real life behavior. Logan Paul easy. I don't think it's because of Logan Paul. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't want to come off like a Logan Paul defender here, but let's be real. He did a really stupid thing. He apologized for it. And as far as I know, he's never really said or denigrated Japan since then. Like, he did apologize. Like, and the big difference there is that a bunch of these other live streamers never apologized for it. They've never, said, hey, I shouldn't have done that. They just did it themselves. Do you see what I'm saying? Logan Paul started it. I think it's fair for you to say that Logan Paul was one of the first people that did this, but I don't think that it's fair for you to blame all of the other people on Logan Paul. I think that's unfair.
神社の宮司さんや関係者の皆様もそれを心配されておりました。もちろんですけど、これ申し上げたいのは表現の自由というものはもちろん尊重されなければいけません。
At the same time,
だが一方でですね、
there's this culture
長い間
that's been
地域
nurtured
の方々に
by
培わ
local
れた
communities for
文
ages.
化
We
に
should
対しま
approach
して
it
敬
with
意を持っ
respect.
て
Yeah,
接
of
す
course.
る。その土地の
Disrespecting that
文
culture,
化を
that's
軽
something
ん
I
じる
think
行為は私は
need to
慎むとい
avoid.
うこと
Remember
は
that song? Try that in a small town, brother. See, the thing is, like, we have the same thing here. We do. Like, it's... and I think anybody can relate to this. It's outrageous. It matters.
大事なことだと考えて
I
お
see
り
it
ま
as a
す。
big deal.
まあ、例
Take,
え
for
ばですけ
example,
ど、
something
長
like
年
a place
敬
revered
意や
and
ですね
cherished
信
for
仰されてき
centuries.
たフランスのノ
Say
ートルダ
Notre
ム
Dame in
大聖
France.
堂とかですね、イスラム教の
The
コーラン
Quran
など
and
にですね
Islam.
礼を視するようなですね
Footage showed them
映
being
像を使われて
disrespected.
いたら、どんな気持ちにその
How
現
would
地の
people
人
there
たちはな
feel?
るか。
Yeah, yeah.
これは
People
もう
get
言わず
pissed
も
off
がな
about
でござい
like
ます。
Islamic depictions
本当に
like
これは私
Muhammad.
思うんですけども、
That's how I see it.
総
Yeah.
理就任後初のお国入り
Prime
に
Minister
で
on
す
first
ね、
trip
ま
back
ず
home.
地元の
This is
八
Yazoo
頭町の渡り神社を参拝しました石破総理にお伺いしたいんですけども、
I'd like to ask
ゲー
you
ム、
with games,
SNS
social
等
media,
に
and
あ
all
りま
that,
して多文化を
people
軽んじる
disregard other
行為や
cultures
それに
or
伴う
cause
観光
tourism
妨
related
害につい
trouble.
てご主
What's
見
your
を
view
お
on
伺い
it?
したいと思います。
Okay.
石破内閣総理大臣。
So this is the
これ
prime.
法的にどう
Okay,
す
so
るか
now we have the main dude. All right. Here we go.
ということにつきましては、
On the legal
農
side of
経産
this,
省あるいは文科省
sit down,
あるいは
yeah.
外務省とよ
talk
く
with the
協議して
education
まいりたい
ministry,
と思っ
foreign
ておりま
ministry,
すが、
figure it out.
神社に落
Graffiti on
書きするなん
shrines,
て
it's
というの
completely
は
out of
とても
line.
他
Yeah.
の話で
It's that
あってです
simple.
ね。
Oh, this
It's that simple. I like this guy. Graffiti found on prestigious shrines. Oh, God.
just happened.
Yeah.
That happened before.
それはもうそ
To me,
の
it's
国
an
に
insult to
対
the
する
country.
侮辱
It
に
is.
他ならないと
Plain and simple.
私は思っ
That's
てい
where I
るところ
stand.
でございます。で自衛隊を
When we sent the
イラク
self-defense
サマ
force
ー
to
ワに出
Iraq
しま
back
す
in
と
the
き
day,
に、もちろんイスラム
wasn't about
教を信
forcing
じる
police on
とか
anyone,
そういう
not at
話
all.
ではありませんが、 イスラム
But
教の
Islamic
しきた
customs
り
and
とか
traditions.
そういうものは
We made
現地
sure
に
our
派遣さ
troops
れる自
going
衛
there
官た
understood
ち
them.
にきちんと
Which
習
tells them
得し
more
て
into
いくように
basics. Yeah,
と
sure.
いうことをお願
I
い
think that
を
makes
いた
sense.
しました。例えば料理を
Japan,
全
you're
部
expected to
食べ
finish
ちゃわない
everything or
と
it
いけ
feels
ない。
rude.
まあ日本では
That's our
みん
way.
な食べないと申し訳ないみたいなことがありますが、
Then finish Dragon's Dogma 2.
じゃあ、かの国で
If
は
you clean your
全
plate,
部
it
食べ
signals
ちゃ
it
うと
wasn't
足りな
enough.
かっ
That's
た
an insult.
という
Yeah,
精
you
進があっ
don't.
て
It
なん
might
と
seem
失礼だ
small,
ということになる
but
と
at the
か
very
ですね。
least,
それは表層
respecting a
的なも
country's
のかも
culture.
しれませんが、少なくともその
Hey,
国
am I
の
wrong?
文化とか、
And in
宗
religion,
教
that's
と
fundamental.
か、
Okay.
そういうものに対する尊敬の
It's a
念を持
no-brainer.
つということ
Yeah,
は、
it is.
私は当然のことだと思っており
Not
ま
that
す
diplomacy
し、
doesn't work.
そう
Yeah,
で
of
なけ
course.
れば外交というのもできないと思っております。
Here you go.
そういうものに
He
対
said
す
that
る
without that respect, diplomacy doesn't work. Ubisoft. Ubisoft? Ubisoft. Listen, this is our prime minister. Not just one unknown grifter is talking.
And
Japanese
this is
prime
another component, is that a lot of the criticism of Assassin's Creed Shadows was compartmentalized as if it was just a bunch of racist white people that didn't want a black person in Japan. And now that you have actual Japanese people that are speaking out against it, a lot of the social media virtue signalers don't really know what to do or how to approach it because they can't tell a non-white person that they're wrong about their culture because that would go against their retarded beliefs. So they're stuck in this position where they can't really speak out against this and defend it, even though if it was a white person saying this, they absolutely would. Yeah, they're stun locked. Exactly. Like this is a, it's kind of like a, it's like a game bug, right? Or it's like, oh fuck, right? You found some kind of like loop, like exploit or something.
minister is speaking.
Am I wrong about this? I don't think I am.
のことだと思っておりますし、そうでなければ外交というのもできないと思っております。まず我が国としてそういうことを率先垂範していかねばなりませんし、仮にもそういう行為が、オーバーツーリズムもそうですが、そういうことがあったら泣き寝入りはしないと。日本国民としてこういうことは許さないということも発信をしていくことは極めて重要なことだと考えておるところでございます。
Yeah.
からひろゆき君。
I feel relieved, but please do something.
まさに
What they need to do is they need to take any of the people that are live streaming in Japan, and if you are live streaming and you commit any form of harassment at all towards a foreigner, you should be immediately deported. Like, ironically, it's what people were really mad about me saying this about people in America, like that are like supporting terrorist organizations that aren't citizens, and I said, get them the fuck out. I just want to show you guys, I'm consistent about this. You come to another fucking country like Japan, you're not from that country, you're starting trouble, get the fuck out. Just really, it's not even a question. How do you even, like, instant deport? Yeah. Especially if they're live streaming and doing it, yes. Revoke their passports? Yes, instantaneously.
おっしゃる通りでUK 向けの文化とか風習というものに
Sad
対
to
し
see how
て
polarized the world's become. This isn't a polarized issue. This is a common sense issue. Every normal person comes to this conclusion. The only people that don't are weirdos on the internet.
ですね、やっぱりこれはお互いがお互い敬意を持ってやらなければ私もいけないと思っております。先ほどの当該ゲームソフトにおいては、日本の部分の文化というものとか施設というものとか、無許可でしかもそういう形で破壊できるようになっている。じゃあ、他国の部分はどうなのかというと、それはできないようになっている。なぜ日本だけなのか。これもやっぱり私問題だと思う。
Well, people go to Japan because they're definitely capitalizing on the good nature of Japanese people to not be aggressive towards them.
ですね。この点についても全てが全てっていうんではなく、なぜ日本だけということについても、私は疑問を
I've got real questions about that.
Yes.
And I'm not the only one.
そのことについてもまた引き続きですね、なかなか表現の自由と絡めたお話であるかもしれませんが、誤った意味での表現の自由というのは私は許されないと思います。
It's not that they can't do it. It's that it's disgraceful and bad to do. Like, I mean, live streamers that are committing crimes and harassing people in the public, then yeah, they shouldn't be doing that. But like with Assassin's Creed, I don't think they're trying to make Assassin's Creed illegal. It's just that they don't like the fact that they're doing it that way. I mean, I feel like these are two very big different things.
ますので、ぜひともその点につきましてはまた経産省ともども外務省についてもご協力をお願いしたいと思っております。
ありがとうございます。
They should.
Yeah. Do you remember when I said like a butterfly effect, like when I was my video was deleted?
As soon as one person is able to do it, other people are going to do it too.
And
Absolutely.
because of that video, a lot of people reacted. Because of a lot of people reacted, and like the making the wave, right? I was inspired some couple of videos, and I started making a video because I see a lot of comments that, I mean, a lot of Japanese comments that was called racist or liar, or you are not Japanese, or kind of stuff. And I made that video.
Yeah.
The first video of Assassin's Creed. And after I made Assassin's Creed Shadow video in English, a lot of people in the West talking about it. Or Japanese is actually mad.
Yeah.
And then everyone's small voices became really big. And
they're
finally
actually
reached
talking about
to
this in
Prime
Parliament.
Minister.
That is crazy.
But it's not finished yet. It's not finished yet. Let's see what they can do. And I'll do what I can do. You do what you can do. You have a happy day today. Bye.
Wow.
Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
That is nuts.
If you enjoyed
Let me link
this
you guys the video.
click on the left for the fun video about
Give it a
Japan,
like.
and on the right to see more videos. You guys have a great day.
That is insane. So this game has been so problematic to Japanese culture that they're talking about it in Parliament. Oh my god. And I do find it to be like just prime disrespect that you can have Yasuke, who is like not even to be certain a samurai, and it's like people are like unsure about this guy's like place in Japanese history in general. You know, one of the main historians that was about him was completely discredited, and now he's hooking up with the sister of one of the more well-known people in Japanese history. I feel like that's kind of a lot, isn't it? Yeah, that really is a lot. And so I don't know what to say. The wiki guy was in the beginning. Yeah, exactly. And so a lot of it is fiction. I know it's fiction, but the problem is that they argued it from the perspective of being a, like authentic, right? Like Yasuke, the entire argument for why Yasuke is the main character is because he was a real person. And you understand that like whenever you make that your argument and you make the argument to authority that yes, it's okay that we're doing this because he was a real person, and then you disrespect everything else, people are going to think that it's a little bit fucking transparent. So that's what I would say. It's still a video game. Yeah, it is just a video game, but I think that people can have an opinion about the video game, right? Of course they can. So that's it. And can we disagree with Japan on this one? Well, that's fine, but I don't think that if the Japanese people find it to be disrespectful, then you can't really tell them that they're wrong. Like, I don't think that, like, Assassin's Creed has to, like... The thing is that you can do one of two things. You can make a video game that's respectful to Japanese culture and is taking an honest effort to portray it in a way that's respectful and like, interesting and not degrading for those people. Or you can make a bullshit game, right? And that's fine, but don't make a bullshit game and then try to act like you're making a respectful game. That's the only thing. That's the only difference. And I think that's so reasonable. That's so completely reasonable. Yes, you can do what you want to do, but don't be surprised if some people don't like it over there. And if they keep making things woke, I might have to end up going outside for once in a while to search for normalcy. POC Samurai rewrites histories and topples Japanese evil patriarchy with his swing and his gay non-binary friends. Oh my fucking god. Put a chick in it, make her gay and lame. Japan should sue Ubisoft. Maybe, right? Check the wiki. Oichi, Nobunaga's sister and possible romance for Yasuke, is regarded as a symbol of an honorable woman in Japan. She's also commonly known for her honorable conduct, beauty, and determination. Someone who, albeit married for political reasons, genuinely loved her husband and known to be both faithful and dutiful wife. Well, now she's married to Yasuke. There it is. Wow.